Temperatures are dropping by the hour.
It was 1 year ago.
The massive power outages
in North Texas.
4 million Texans and counting are without power.
The storm just hit like a monster.
And it roared for one whole week, the freeze that took out more than just power.
I was scared.
This is a dire situation.
It took people.
So many people are desperate.
He was found right here.
In the road?
On the road.
I was just like hoping, no.
My brother will forever be 33.
Raymond Jaimes, Donald Smith, and Kimberly Smith died during the winter storm. 246 people total across Texas.
It was the second day in, and we lost power.
Alan Brockleman cared for his mother, who was confined to a medical bed.
Her bed, the hospital bed, was right there.
A longtime nurse, Kimberly, was paralyzed, a cancer survivor, a lupus warrior.
And I picked her up.
When they lost power,
and I laid her right here, and I started doing CPR.
They lost
everything. Her bed, the heat, the things that she needs the most.
He had tried to get under this right here and try to warm up.
Donald Smith was the family comedian and grill master. They agonized over days.
Right in here is where they found his body.
Calling, searching for their brother who was homeless.
Worried that you haven't heard from him, but still trying to keep a positive mind that he's okay.
But the cold was too much.
Hypothermia, yeah.
13 below zero. That is the wind chill factor tonight in Dallas.
Dallas-Fort Worth spent 139 consecutive hours below freezing.
This was the night it had hit below zero.
We'll shatter the record low tonight.
Power went out at Raymond Jaimes' apartment, the middle brother they called Cheeto.
Freezing.
Cold and epileptic, the family fears he became confused.
After he has a seizure, my brother, he's like out of it.
We're told neighbors heard him just outside hours before he died.
Just a phone call would have saved his life.
It was people who were the most vulnerable.
Majid Nachawati says he's prepared for a fight.
They froze to death in hallways. They froze to death in chairs.
The Dallas law firm that represents hundreds of families who lost homes, lost businesses, but most importantly,
my mother,
loved ones. They represent Kimberly and Alan.
I just felt like I was lied to. I just want to know who's lying to me and who's not.
When you combine irresponsibility at the governmental levels with deregulation gone awry, bad things happen.
Their lawsuit names ERCOT. It also names gas and power companies across Texas.
How did the system fail Texas so badly?
Majid argues they put profits over people.
It's hard to sleep in here.
40 hours without power. It was Alan's son.
He found her.
Alan says it was pneumonia. Kimberly was rushed to a hospital.
I told her I love her. And thank you for everything.
Some of the last thoughts to my family from Donald.
Donald and Raymond were found lying in the snow outside.
Sometimes you can't believe it.
Donald near Northwest Highway in Abrams.
It's still hurtful when you think about it.
Where Raymond was found, there's a memorial to remember him.
Every minute of every day.
The Smith and Jaimes families want accountability too.
We pay our bills because we depend on them.
Combination of both frustration and anger.
I feel your pain and I'm right there with you.
All three families know their loved ones' stories don't end here.
I am now able to spend eternity with him in heaven.
Not like this.
I love you, Donald.
We'll see you in heaven.
What happened to them is a reminder of what never should have happened 1 year ago in Dallas. I'm Joe Paniker. Texas weather has a reputation for being unpredictable. But we knew about the winter storm. We knew about February 2021.
Start moving the patients that are still out of power to get these guys out of these temperatures.
We did not know it would cripple our electric grid.
Well, everything around here is frozen.
Leave millions in the dark and many in the unforgiving cold.
Did they stand a chance?
They probably did not stand a chance. The temperatures were that frigid and that cold.
139 straight hours below freezing.
The intake of the decedents.
Dr. Amy Gruzecki is a forensic pathologist at American Forensics. She's seen just about everything because she had to.
It is my job to determine how somebody dies.
This was the night it had hit below zero.
It just shuts down and freeze.
Hospice care patient, very cold, needs transport.
The reality is, cold kills. 246 people across Texas died that week, 22 people in Dallas County. Many were our most vulnerable population.
You're shivering. It's just going to get colder. Come on.
The homeless.
Golly, your shoes are frozen, dude.
The only contacts for many of them were the police officers who found them. The Dallas County Medical Examiner reports are a tough read. Their final moments were not in the warmth or with family. We told you earlier this week about Donald Smith and Raymond Jaimes. Both were found lying in the snow.
Where a person starts losing the feeling in their hands and their feet.
Many died of hypothermia. Medical definition: the body loses heat faster than it can produce it.
That shivering response is the body's attempt to generate heat, literally by shaking itself.
The core body temperature drops, shivering to shallow breathing, to a systematic shutdown of the heart, nervous system, and organs.
The internal organs would have that pinkish discoloration that would be much brighter.
He was out there
About 2 days.
Yeah.
Donald Smith was homeless, but more importantly, their brother.
It's the way that it happened.
He was found right here
In the road?
on the road.
Raymond Jaimes lost power to his apartment, a son, a brother, an uncle. He suffered from epilepsy. His sisters fear he had an episode.
We won't get to see him grow old.
The medical reports reveal another sad reality. 5 Dallas County cases of paradoxical undressing. Medical definition: irrational behavior in exposure to extreme cold, where the victims remove their clothes.
They start to hallucinate, and then they get confused, and they start to feel warm. They think they're warm, even though they're far from warm.
Raymond and Donald were not these cases. Dr. Gruzecki says she sees it in 1 out of 5 hypothermia cases.
The reason a person
Shedding clothes only speeds up their death.
It's an unbelievable process. It's sort of scary when you hear it.
To know a loved one died this way is hard enough. But when you realize they shouldn't have died at all.
You get mad sometimes.
We want people to know his name.
When I go home at night, I replay those scenarios in my head.
246 deaths.
Carbon monoxide investigation.
246 reasons this can't happen again.
It is my job to give that individual a voice as to what happened to them.
It's the storm we knew about. We just didn't know it would hurt. Like this. In Dallas County. I'm Jovan Paniker.